There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest 100% organic cotton bedding from Boll and Branch. You'll fall asleep faster wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and breathable sheets. You'll experience pure comfort on night one and feel your bedding get softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com with code WONDERY15. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Welcome to How to Survive, the show that teaches you how to survive the stuff that can kill you.
Like superstorms, or sentient airplanes, or caffeine mismanagement.
And the stuff that just makes you wish you were dead.
Like your own baby. Or comics who have turned bad.
Oh.
Or mothers.
Yeah. You know what?
What?
Makes me feel good?
Our theme song.
Yeah, every time.
Yay.
Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. How to survive. How to survive.
Perfect.
Just about to start, and Chris is screwing back her top on her beautiful, I was going to say, bespoke water bottle.
Filthy.
It's filthy on the outside, but it looks very classy.
Why would they make a water bottle white ever?
Well, what are you doing? Rolling around in the mud with it? I mean, why should it get so dirty?
I have children.
I know, but they're not 3. What are they doing? They're just burying it and then
They just don't have clean hands, I think.
sending the dog to clean it up.
You know what?
Find
You know
out.
what? You know, I'll tell you what the problem is.
Yeah.
It's matte.
Yes.
So it's like really hard
yes
to clean.
Right.
So I think I even cleaned it and it still looks dirty.
It's also not a very big water bottle. Is that enough water for you?
No. You know where this came from?
No.
Your party. It was in the gift exchange.
Oh,
It was a nice gift.
It is good.
And it came with like blankets and other
so
items.
it's that dirty just from December,
Well, it's been used multiple times.
right? I'm just saying.
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, they can't all be my gigantic How to Survive. There is a sale right now. I did post. I'm assuming it's still on by the time this hits. I don't know, but there's a 20% sale on our merch with the code GOT20.
Ooh.
Not spelled out, just the number 20.
Get on that.
And don't use an O for the 0.
And
Like
is
something
our
I would do.
Patreon still going by the time this airs? What's today? Today is the...
Yeah. It'll
So
still
yeah,
be February.
it'll still be going. Get on
Look
that.
at all these sales.
Oh my God, get on the sales.
Oh my God.
I love a sale.
Oh, and then of course, got to start watching White Lotus.
I saw it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. But I didn't see Severance, but I saw White Lotus.
Oh, you didn't see Severance?
No. I'll watch it tonight. But I am a huge fan of the first episode of White Lotus.
Oh,
I would
good.
say.
I'm excited. I'm going to watch it today.
Yeah, I think you'll like
Watch
it.
it with my lunch.
I watched Sisters last night.
Bad
with-
Sisters?
With Amy Poehler and Tina Fey.
Oh, that old
Oh,
movie?
with, and what's his name from
Ike
Mindy
Barinholtz.
Kaling? I love Ike Barinholtz. God, he makes me laugh.
Gorgeous.
He's
to be honest.
gorgeous?
He
Oh,
is
he's a
so
cutie.
hot to
He's a
me.
cutie patootie. I wouldn't say he's gorgeous,
Yeah,
but
I think he's.
I think he's funny, and he's very
yeah.
smart.
yeah.
Yeah.
He killed Jeopardy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Celebrity Jeopardy.
God, he's funny.
He's really funny.
I was laughing the entire time, like more than I think when I originally saw it. When it
Oh,
first
yeah.
came
I
out.
remember it being kind of funny.
It was really. I think it just hits different when you're there, the age of the characters in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it was, and Bobby Moynihan is in it, and he is just being stupid the entire time. But I was almost on the floor laughing at one point because he like does a bunch of cocaine and
Yeah.
goes crazy. It's so stupid and funny.
All right. Are we ready to get into today's topic?
Yeah.
Oh, I was born ready.
Were you?
I don't know. Was I? I was a preemie, so I guess I was born
Oh, you were a preemie. How preemie?
just 5 pounds. I didn't have to go to the NICU.
But how many days or weeks?
Maybe 3 weeks.
Whoa. You couldn't wait to get here.
Yeah,
I was a C-section, baby.
I need to get away from all that smoke.
Did that work?
No.
After you got into the world?
Nope.
Do you think your mother was smoking while she was pregnant?
Oh, I know she was.
Are you serious?
Yeah. All three of us.
Okay. Wait a second.
Lots of women smoked when they were pregnant.
I know, but we're not that old. Certainly people knew you weren't supposed to smoke when you were pregnant.
In the 70s?
You don't think so?
I mean, women smoked when they were pregnant when I knew, like, I saw women smoking when they were pregnant a ton. When I was...
when you had already been...
When I was
kid.
An adult.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess
maybe when I was a kid.
Well, you know what? The three of you turned out fine, so maybe...
You want to go with that?
Physically? You don't have any physical... Do you think your physical... do you think your, what do you call it? Pain and stuff is from...
I mean, I don't know that we can...
Trace it to that.
You know, who knows? But I mean, we were all really small.
Oh, wow. But you all... Aren't your brothers like 6'6" or something?
One of them is 6'8", yeah.
6'8", Jesus Christ.
We all smoked.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even picture a pregnant woman smoking. That's how bizarre it seems to me.
Yeah.
I cannot picture it.
Yeah, smoking in pregnancy was not unusual.
Yikes. Holy
What about
moly.
Garen? Was it unusual in Michigan?
Did your mother smoke?
My mom smoked, but I don't know if she smoked then. I think she started later.
Oh, okay.
Really?
After
As
we
an
were born.
adult?
I think so.
Well, you got these two as kids.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah,
I got it.
Most people just don't start as adults smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, Irish Catholic family, there's like 6 or 7 of them kids running around.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they were doing. Who knows? We never really talked about that, to be honest. That's kind of interesting. I should find out.
You mean you're saying when she was younger?
When she was younger,
did she
yeah.
smoke?
Like
Yeah.
the one thing she always told me is that she went to see The Exorcist and it scared her so bad she pissed her pants, and then she hid her uniform in her closet because she was embarrassed.
Aww.
And it just was in her closet for a while, which seems like a bad idea. But
Didn't have access to a laundry, to a washer.
I don't know. I know she hid smoking for a long time because she didn't want anybody to know about it.
I
So
love. You know
maybe-
what? Guess what? You can't hide smoking.
Not when you're smoking Virginia Slims and they precede you when you walk in a room by 5 minutes.
Well, I mean, this is the smell. It's like
Yeah.
it's preposterous to think.
You can if the whole house smokes, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that. Yes, that makes sense. All right. Are we ready to learn?
Yes.
How to survive the mother of all caffeine products?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this when
yes.
you have an entire cup of coffee?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of jokes about that, I think, in there because, yeah, this is, okay, we're talking about powdered and liquid concentrate caffeine.
Okay.
Or or to put it in Danielle terms, a whole cup of coffee. Okay. I like this sentence. That first cup of coffee in the morning, or for some a Diet Coke, which is true, but why is it Diet Coke? Why isn't it just
Coke?
No one drinks a break. Oh, we went to a restaurant this weekend and I was so excited to have a soda.
Yeah.
And I said Diet Coke and they were like, Diet Pepsi, okay? You know, and I'm like, oh.
No, it's not.
And I said, I asked the waitress, I said, does anyone respond favorably to his Diet Pepsi, okay? And she said, no, not one person.
Yeah.
And I said, what about regular Coke and Pepsi? She goes, it's less, but people are still disappointed, but not as much.
Yeah.
I'm like, so what the fuck?
They do.
No one prefers Diet Pepsi.
No, not in California.
Oh, do you think they prefer another place? Oh, because it's sweeter.
Oh, well, it's more common. I think in Ohio, it's Pepsi.
Oh.
Well, I shouldn't say in Ohio. I should say in my small town,
Yeah.
where I'm from, it's Pepsi.
In your mom's house.
In my mom's house
Yeah.
specifically. But it's
Okay.
it's Pepsi.
It's a Pepsi generation.
It's a Pepsi generation over there. I don't get it.
Interesting. All right. 60% of American coffee drinkers say they need coffee to start their day. I'm nothing without my coffee.
Seriously.
And caffeine-enhanced products like energy drinks have become increasingly popular in teens and young adults. But I'm assuming you guys, I'm sure, you can't have your cigarette without a cup of coffee. I'm sure at 8 years old you were drinking coffee, right?
You know what? I didn't drink coffee. I did not, but I did smoke, but not at
Right.
8, 9. Listen,
Right.
listen to me. My daughter bought a what are those drinks? You
Oh,
used to
no.
drink?
Celsius?
A Celsius.
But on purpose?
Yeah. She goes, can I go into 7-Eleven and get a snack before I go to Model UN? And I go, yeah. And she goes, all right, can I have a few bucks? So I gave her a few bucks. She goes, oh, I need 40 more cents. This isn't important to the story. She comes out with a Celsius. She comes out with something, but she's like not showing it to
Oh,
me.
boy.
And I go, oh, what'd you get? She goes, oh, I got a flavored water. I go, that is full of caffeine, just so you know. And I said, those are not good for you. I go, you can get it today. I go, but I'm not giving you money to buy those anymore. I don't think you should have them. They're not good for you. She goes, oh, okay. I just, my friend had one the other day and I liked it. And so I think it's like hip in her
Really?
friend group.
I guess I'm a trendsetter, guys.
You really
You
are.
really are. Was she bouncing off the walls?
No, she wasn't. But I think with her, caffeine can actually be a calming because,
So it
she's,
might be good in small amounts.
well, but she doesn't need it. Like, I don't want her to drink Celsius, but I didn't want to make a too big of a deal of it because I don't want it to backfire. And then she's
Right.
like, oh, my mom doesn't want me to have it. I'm going to drink it all the time.
right.
So I was like, it's fine. You can have it. But I'm not going to give you money to buy those anymore.
Oy, oy, oy.
Okay.
But too much caffeine can be dangerous, especially when it comes to pure caffeine powder.
Okay. Is this on the black market or can we just buy this at Ralph's?
You can buy it. Not at Ralph's, but you can buy it.
Okay,
we'll
let's
get
hear
into
it. Let's hear it.
Pure powdered caffeine has recently become available on the market and has caused serious unintentional overdoses, leading to hospitalizations, seizures, cardiac arrhythmias, muscle injury.
Muscle injury?
I don't know.
You got to start punching stuff.
I guess so.
I got to punch these walls. I can't stop.
If you're just falling down all over the place or something. Kidney failure and even death.
Holy shit.
Caffeine in appropriate doses is quite safe for healthy adults. Measured in milligrams, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration recommends a caffeine limit of 400 milligrams a day, which is about 20 to 28 ounces of coffee.
Is that like a couple cups, do you think? I don't know. Let's see.
You know what?
8 ounces is a cup.
I have to apologize.
Please, we've been waiting.
73 episodes.
Finally, she gets it.
I think that's correct. I cut and pasted something from somewhere else, but I think that one's correct. Okay. The amount of caffeine consumed depends on the drink and the size of the cup, but a tall coffee clocks in at about half the daily limit at 12 ounces. Oh, okay. So this is
A tall, like a Starbucks tall?
Yes, is 12 ounces. Like this, what I have is, I think, 8 ounces. This little guy.
Okay.
Unlike the caffeine in brewed coffee or energy drinks, though, even the smallest dose of caffeine powder can be lethal. Powdered caffeine is measured in the grams instead of milligrams, which means a single teaspoon can have as much caffeine as 28 cups of coffee.
Holy moly.
And a half a cup of liquid concentrated caffeine products contains roughly the same amount of caffeine as more than 20 cups of coffee. Normally, it would be impossible to drink that many cups of coffee in a short amount of time, but with powdered caffeine, 1 teaspoon or approximately 3 grams is a lethal dose for children or someone with a heart condition, or Danielle.
Or is this like people are doing it like a drug?
No, I will explain to you. It's a lot of exercise people.
Oh, geez.
People, yeah, they think it's like a stimulant for working
Like
out.
a performance enhancer.
Yes. Caffeine usually has a self-limiting feature. As you slowly consume too much, more unpleasant effects become prominent.
Yeah.
Vomiting and jitteriness, agitation.
Oh my God, vomiting. I've never vomited.
I've never, but I felt nauseated, I think. If you take 3 or 4 energy shots in a row or drink 10 to 15 cups of coffee, vomiting begins. It's easy to recognize when you've consumed too much, and in most cases, the misuse stops there, although the vomiting may persist for hours. What's the most cups of coffee you've ever had in a day?
I've definitely had on long work days
Yeah.
when I used to work in TV, where then at night I would feel really anxious, almost like restless leg syndrome, sick. Like a lot of it feels like body anxiety,
Yes.
jittery.
You can't tell the difference.
Yeah, it's a terrible feeling.
You think you had 4 cups, 5 cups?
Yeah, probably.
that.
Yeah. What about you? Half a 3/4 of a cup?
3/4 of a cup. A thimble.
But you probably has this gotten worse as you've gotten older too? Where you've become less?
I've never been a huge coffee drinker, but I think yes, I think it's gotten worse somehow. I don't know why, but
I think that's everybody
Yeah.
though. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we become less tolerant of like alcohol, less tolerant of
Yes,
coffee.
that's
like
true. Yeah.
I can't. It's like
less tolerant of Garen.
oh, that was next.
I mean, 2 years ago, he
he could do anything.
could do anything. Now I'm like,
it's like,
one,
why are you
one more
breathing?
step? God damn it!
Oh, why is he like? What is his hair doing today?
Oh, well, enough with the cardigans.
Medieval times. We get it.
Jesus Christ! Oh yeah, I'm gonna ask you about that later.
But yeah, it's everything. It's things. It's like, oh, I can't eat spicy foods anymore. You know,
Right.
It's that thing of just
Right.
like your body telling you to stop.
Yes. Okay, but with pure powdered caffeine, mixing 1 or 2 teaspoons in an energy shake leads to a frighteningly large overdose, which you won't know until it's too late. A teaspoon or more will send anyone to the hospital and possibly the morgue.
Jesus.
Okay, so this is from the FDA. This is, I believe, from 2018.
Do we still have an FDA?
I don't know. When I searched this, yes.
Okay.
But that was yesterday
Oh, okay.
or 2 days ago.
And maybe
So maybe not.
not. Maybe not.
I don't know.
It's wild that we do not know legitimately if there is still an FDA.
Yeah. I'm saying it as a joke, but really, we might not.
How did that plane just like, I don't understand.
Oh my God.
How did it land upside down?
Guys.
And no one died.
What
I
the
don't
fuck?
understand.
What the fuck with planes?
But that was in Canada. It landed in Canada.
Yeah, I don't think that's the reason.
No, I'm saying I don't know if you can blame Trump for or the FAA for this because the crash happened in another
I
country.
know, but guys, what's happening with
do you think they just put up like one of Elon's kids? Like that 4-year-old was driving it? Was
Well, you know,
flying it?
I had a thought. Hear me out.
Yeah.
What if the planes are sentient?
Oh, and they're like, fuck this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, like we've been worrying about AI, but it's actually AI is not even the thing we have to worry about.
Oh, no.
It's like planes.
They just want to kill ice skaters?
Yeah. Well,
Why?
no, I think they're mad. Like maybe they have political feelings. Like the planes
yeah.
are sentient and they're mad about. They're like, we could do a first Trump term, but we can't.
Enough.
We can't do a second.
Yeah, enough with this.
And I'm like, I'm with you, man.
Right. All right. So this is from the FDA. FDA takes steps to protect consumers against dietary supplements containing dangerously high levels of extremely concentrated or pure caffeine.
Okay.
Oh, yes. This is from 2018. Today, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration took an important step to better protect consumers from the dangers of highly concentrated and pure caffeine products. These products present a significant public health threat because of the high risk that they will be erroneously used at excessive, potentially dangerous doses. Highly concentrated and pure caffeine, often sold in bulk packages, have been linked to at least 2 deaths in otherwise healthy individuals.
You can get it at Costco.
Maybe. I have the sense that people are ordering it over the internet, but I probably, yeah, I'm sure you could. The agency issued a new guidance to clarify that dietary supplements containing pure or highly concentrated caffeine in powder or liquid forms are considered unlawful when sold in bulk quantities
Okay.
directly to consumers.
But what if it's in a small quantity? Is it still unlawful?
I guess not. It's the bulk quantities that are making it unlawful.
Oh, Jesus.
Given the significant public health concern, this guidance is immediately in effect. The FDA prepared to take steps right away to begin removing illegal products from the market. Despite multiple actions against these products in the past, we've seen a continued trend of products containing highly concentrated or pure caffeine being marketed directly to consumers as dietary supplements and sold in bulk quantities with up to thousands of recommended servings per container. We know these products are sometimes, you know how like you see some like those gym rat guys, they order like those protein powders
Yeah.
in like 50-gallon drums.
Yes.
So I guess it's like that.
And you're just scooping that shit into a smoothie.
Can you imagine if Oliver was entrusted with making a smoothie with caffeine?
We'd all be dead.
powder? Oh my God. He'd be dead just from inhaling it.
He'd
Yeah.
kill so many people.
Oh my God, Oliver. He must be stopped. We know these products are sometimes being used in potentially dangerous ways. For example, teenagers, for a perceived energy kick, sometimes mix dangerously high amounts of super concentrated caffeine into workout cocktails.
What do they need energy for? They're teenagers.
I know, right?
We're the ones who are tired.
Well, your daughter she's not even a teenager. She wanted the caffeine. So I don't know. The amounts used can too easily become deceptively high because of the super concentrated forms of bulk packaging in which the caffeine is being sold, said the FDA commissioner. We're making clear for industry that these highly concentrated forms of caffeine that are being sold in bulk packages are generally illegal under current law. We'll act to remove these dangerous bulk products from the market. A half cup of highly concentrated liquid caffeine can contain approximately 2,000 milligrams of caffeine, and just a single teaspoon of a powdered pure caffeine product contain approximately 3,200 milligrams of caffeine. This is equivalent to 20 to 28 cups of coffee. We talked about that earlier, a potentially toxic dose. In fact, less than 2 tablespoons of some formulations of powdered pure caffeine can be deadly to most adults, while even smaller amounts can be life-threatening to children. Risk of overuse and misuse is high when highly concentrated caffeine is sold in bulk quantities, and consumers are expected to measure a very small, precise recommended serving. Basically, you need like a cocaine scale,
Yeah.
like to do it properly.
Oh, my brother had one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did he sell?
Yeah.
Oh, he sold cocaine?
Yeah.
Wow. Did he ever do jail time for that?
No.
I said for that because I'm assuming he did jail time for something else. So he had scales in his
Bedroom.
bedroom. Was your mother aware of this?
I don't know what she was aware of.
Gotcha. But you were, as a child,
Yes.
aware of what was going on.
Yes.
Fantastic. Jesus Christ. Regardless of whether the product contains a warning label, such products present a significant and unreasonable risk of illness or injury to the customer. The recommended safe serving of highly concentrated or pure caffeine products is often 200 milligrams of caffeine, get this, which equates 1/16 of a teaspoon.
Oh my God.
So how do you have that? Like no one has that.
That doesn't even exist on my spoon.
Right.
My spoon thing.
Yeah, on your spoon thing.
Yeah.
On your
That's what you call it, right?
Or measuring spoons?
Yeah, my spoon thing.
God, somebody should market it and call it that.
Or 2.5 teaspoons of a liquid. Yet despite these small serving sizes, powdered forms of caffeine are sold in large bags and liquid forms are sold online.
How are people not dying left and right?
I don't know. Often consumers do not have the right tools to correctly measure such a small amount.
Yeah, you're not just hanging out with cocaine scales.
Right. But get this, even if they do, simple and common errors such as packing the powder too tightly or using a heaping scoop instead of a
Yes.
level scoop can increase the amount of caffeine in a single dose with harmful results. Consumers could, I'm worried when I'm baking and I
Yes.
don't know, like, should I be packing this or
Yes.
should I not be packing this?
Brown sugar's tricky.
It is tricky. Thank you,
Right?
because you pack it and then it kind of grows a little bit. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? It
yes.
kind of like, it's sentient. Speaking of sentient, the brown
Yes.
sugar. So then you keep packing it, but then you're like, wait, should I be packing this?
Right. Or should I just put it
Level off
and
Right.
go?
Yep, exactly. But what's the worst that can happen is your banana bread's too sweet.
Right.
And this,
You die.
right. Consumers could also make similar errors with highly concentrated liquid caffeine products. For comparison, a can of caffeinated soda contains about 35 milligrams of caffeine, which would equate to less than half a teaspoon of highly concentrated liquid caffeine. Additionally, these products often closely resemble safe household items, potentially leading to accidental and dangerous ingestions. Highly concentrated caffeine is a clear liquid form, could be easily confused with commonly available liquids such as water or distilled vinegar. And pure powdered caffeine could be easily confused with flour or powdered sugar. The consequences of a consumer mistakenly confusing one of these products could be toxic or even lethal.
Oh, yeah. If you just think it's sugar and you put it in your coffee.
Oh, my God. When formulated and marketed appropriately, caffeine can be an ingredient in a dietary supplement. For example, the guidance describes how dietary supplements containing caffeine in certain forms are less likely to present the same safety risks, including those sold in pre-measured packets. That's what I was thinking this whole time I was doing this.
Yeah.
Pre-measured packets.
Like what Splenda does.
Exactly.
It's just a little packet.
Right.
3 little crystals.
Yes. Or in solid dosage forms such as tablets or capsules.
Yes.
Or when sold in formulations that are not highly
Yeah, it could melt on
concentrated.
your tongue.
Right. Just put it under your tongue like a tab of acid.
Yes.
While reactions to caffeine can vary widely from person to person, toxicologists generally warn that ingesting 5 to 10 grams of the stimulant could be lethal. However, one case study found that a 41-year-old woman survived after ingesting 50 grams of caffeine. it is very difficult to predict one's response to caffeine. Some people are more sensitive than others. What?
That's not true.
No, said Bruce Goldberger, the director of toxicology at the University of Florida College of Medicine. If someone has an undiagnosed medical condition, they may ingest caffeine, not knowing it may have a deleterious effect, such as a cardiac arrhythmia, hypertension, or anxiety. Okay, this is now the story. And I think have two stories. I don't know. I don't know what happened between 2 days ago and now. A personal trainer died after taking caffeine powder, the equivalent of up to 200 cups of coffee. An inquest heard. Father of two, Tom Mansfield, had miscalculated the amount of powder he was meant to use on kitchen scales. An inquest in Ruffin, this is a British dude.
Everybody in England is dying.
Right? Heard the 29-year-old from Colwyn Bay fell ill straight after drinking his mixture on 5 January 2021. Reaching a conclusion of misadventure. Isn't that fun?
It sounds like a fun way to die.
Isn't it so much better in England?
Yes.
You go to hospital and you die of misadventure.
In your jumper.
In your jumper. Exactly. You take a lift. Coroner John Gittins said the cause of death was caffeine toxicity. Caffeine is used by some gym goers, with some fitness websites recommending it for improving sports performance in certain doses. However, experts have warned that when taking powders, there is a risk of consuming over the recommended amount. On Tuesday, an inquest heard Mr. Mansfield began clutching his chest and complaining his heart was beating fast after consuming the product. Minutes later, after going to lie down, he began foaming at the mouth. His wife, Susanna, alerted neighbors and family and called an ambulance. Paramedics tried to resuscitate him for 45 minutes, but was later pronounced dead at, and here's the most British sentence you'll ever hear, Glad Clewin Hospital in Bodelwydden, Denbighshire.
Whoa. Was that English?
I don't know. The hearing was told the scales Mr. Mansfield used had used to measure the powder had a weighing range from 2,000 to 5,000 milligrams, whereas he was attempting to weigh a recommended dose of 60 to 300 milligrams.
Oh.
It was this miscalculation which led to a massive overdose. The hearing was told he had bought a 100-gram bag of the powder from Blackburn Distributions. In a statement read to the hearing, its director, Ben Blackburn, said the powder should be weighed to 2 decimal places in milligrams, and the suggested dosage was 60 to 300 milligrams of powder up to twice a day. I think it should be like breakfast cereals that come with like a little toy at the bottom.
Yes.
I think this powder should come with a scale because there's no, or at least a measuring device, not a scale, a measuring device.
Yeah.
Like
I
come
think-
with a spoon that measures this thing.
I think your idea of
scoop.
it's coming pre-measured.
Yes.
In doses. Like it, or it just should be illegal.
Yes.
One of those options. Those,
Like-
I'm gonna write to the
okay.
boss,
Here
the
we
boss
go.
of rules.
The company did not, at the time of Mr. Mansfield's death, include scoops in the packaging because they are not always accurate, but Mr. Blackburn said they had now changed. I don't know why they wouldn't always be accurate. That doesn't make any sense to me. Err on the side of caution. Make the spoon a little too small then.
Yeah, I mean, if you're selling something that can easily kill people,
I don't know. A post-mortem, it has now enhanced the usage instructions and increased the prominence of potential side effects. A post-mortem examination showed Mr. Mansfield had caffeine levels of 392 milligrams per liter of blood. Caffeine levels would typically be 2 to 4 milligrams per liter if someone had drunk a cup of filter coffee.
he didn't have a chance.
No.
Poor guy.
Mr. Gittins said it appeared Mr. Mansfield had been aiming for the mid-range of the recommended dose, but he got his maths wrong.
Got your maths wrong.
And there were unintended consequences which had a fatal effect.
Poor guy.
Oh, what a misadventure.
I mean, I think I would say don't do it to people.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know what, I didn't look into this, I guess I should have, about the science of caffeine helping with working out.
I think you can go longer.
Restricts, I thought it restricts your veins.
Blood vessels?
Blood vessels, yeah. So it doesn't seem like it would be a good idea.
I think it's more about maybe energy of this idea of like I can work out longer and harder because I have, it's that idea of like I can keep going.
Right.
But it's also like, but you're you're also not listening to your body, which is what you're supposed to be doing
Right.
when it's telling you to stop.
Yeah. Well, for some people, working out is like an addiction. It's they put so much thought into it. It's like so much a part of their lives. It's like
Yeah.
they got to get the powders and this and the that and the thing and the other thing and just have a cup of coffee.
Should we take a break?
We will take a break. That's on the docket.
It's on the dock right
And
now.
then we'll be right back. Bye. Welcome back. Chris, how was your break?
Well, I was going to say welcome back, but
Oh, shit. Did I take your line?
yeah. So
Fuck. I'm sorry.
now
Should we start over?
I have to reset.
Maybe. Oh, no.
Now I'm mad.
We count our lines before the show starts. It
That's
seems
fair.
like it's improv, but honestly, everything we say is pre-planned.
The show is Seething Resentment. That's the name of the podcast.
How to survive seething resentment.
How
with
to
Danielle and
survive
Christine.
How to survive this.
Yeah.
I came in drunk. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, did you learn anything during the
Nothing that is good to talk about. Just some more arrests from some real estate brothers who are doing some bad things in New York.
Oh, you're following those guys still. Okay.
I follow their every move. You know I love crime.
I do. All right. Well, on the first half of the show, we talked about how to survive the mother of all caffeine products. And now we're going to talk about how to survive mothers with Kevin Pollak.
Wow.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Kevin,
Yes.
first of all, everyone knows Kevin is a very well-known actor and comic. And I was trying to
You
decide,
could say multi-award winning.
multi-award winning.
Yeah.
Do we want to know what the awards are?
Ah,
Who cares?
all kinds.
All kinds?
Sure.
Are you an EGOT?
No,
Or do you have any, you got some of the,
I don't. Do I have any of the E's? Of the GOTS?
do you have an Emmy?
I mean, I was on a show that won an Emmy, so maybe.
Sure. Let's count that.
I haven't personally won.
I've watched shows that have Emmys.
Yeah. I'm reading a script that might get nominated.
Oh, yeah? So I was trying to figure out how much of a fangirl I was going to be.
What?
And I talked about it with Jim, and he was like, Kevin will not mind getting his ass kissed. So
Interesting.
I'm sure, I hope that's true.
Well, I don't know where to start. I didn't realize he knew me that well.
Maybe he's just speaking for all comics. So
Probably.
I am a huge fan of yours. And as,
But you're not that big.
what? I'm not that big?
No.
You think there's bigger?
No, I mean, what are you, 5 foot nothing?
I'm 5'2", thank you very much.
Forgive me.
Well, I actually won't let anyone measure me anymore.
That's fair. I don't want to know that I'm shrinking.
I don't
either.
want to know. I was at my top 5'2.5".
I was at my top. I like that.
Yeah. So literally, my husband and son wanted to measure me one day, and I ran around the house and would not let them. They had I was like, you can weigh me if you want, but we are not doing this. This is permanent.
What was their motive that they needed to measure
I think
you?
they were trying to figure out how tall Oliver was, and then they just thought it was funny or something, and
Okay.
ha ha ha, he's so much taller than me, which is great. I'm glad he's taller than me. I mean,
Good for him.
good for him, right?
Yes.
But yeah. So what I wanted to say was that
He's still not an award-winning actor, is he?
not yet.
Excuse me. Multiple. Yeah.
When I was a teenager, we used to watch your special all the time because you did the Star Trek thing. And
yeah.
as you, I think, know, my dad played Chekhov on Star Trek.
Yes, of course.
And so we would watch that bit all the time. And whenever
Wow.
someone came to the house, we would show it to them.
That was the first special. Wow.
That was your very
that
first
was
special?
Like 1988,
Wow.
maybe.
Yeah.
I want to say. Yeah.
Because your impressions are so great. And so one time I was at the mall at, I don't want to drop names, but the Beverly Center.
Whoa.
And
Jesus.
Fancy.
I was with two of my friends, and we were in a car, and we saw you and your then wife
Sure.
walking by. My friend had played your wife's daughter on the Sam Kinison sitcom.
Wow.
So she was like, oh my God, there's Lucy. And I was like, who cares? There's Kevin Pollak. And they were like, what? I'm like, that's Kevin Pollak.
So the kids were not fans.
I
What my takeaway from
I don't
this.
know if they knew. She was just excited because she had worked with her. And I was like, who cares?
Yeah.
that guy's in my living room every freaking week.
That might be one of my favorite fan sighting of me stories ever.
Okay, good. I'm glad I told you then.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad because, I just wanted to share.
You didn't know that teens at the mall were going nuts for you?
For my ex-wife. Yeah. That was the part I didn't know.
Yeah. So that was very, very exciting. Kevin, can you tell us about your mom?
Well,
and how you survived her?
where do I begin? Yeah, I was thinking about my selection when asked to come up with a theme of survival.
Yes.
And then I coughed that one up impulsively.
Okay.
And then I thought about it afterwards. And well, first of all, her nickname was the Sun.
Okay.
We were mere planets revolving around her. She made sure of that.
Okay. One of those moms.
She passed just shy of the age of 90, so she had a pretty damn good run a couple of years ago. She also booked me at my first gig, and our family had nothing to do with show business.
Yeah.
I should preface that. She was a bit of a ham herself, so she brought home a comedy album one day, and my parents listened to it on the stereo hi-fi, which is a 7-foot wide piece of furniture,
Right.
with a record player in the middle.
Right.
I mean, it really was ridiculous.
Yeah, you used to have to move things around to play music.
You had to
put
move people.
Right.
It wasn't moving. It really was a 7-foot wide piece of wood furniture with the speakers built in.
Right.
And it was all the rage of the day. And she brought home a comedy album. I saw my parents laughing uncontrollably at the man talking from the furniture, and which I was too young to understand at 9. I mean, not completely too young, because they were pretty wholesome, family-oriented stories.
Do you remember who it was?
I do, but I hasten to say because he went on to become the most successful serial rapist in history.
We know. Okay, we can figure. We can deduce.
Yeah. Okay. But that wasn't in the liner notes, which I find unfair.
Say that. It wasn't like, I shared a bed with my brother and then I slipped someone a Mickey.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfair, quite frankly. So when no one was around, I come home from school, no one was home. I would put that record on and listen to it again and again and again. And I'm not sure why I was so into this, other than I'd never seen my parents laugh that uncontrollably, and it was as unnerving as if they were openly weeping. It was not a big laughy family.
So did the album make you laugh, or were you just trying to figure out what was going on with your parents?
I guess at 9, I'm trying to dissect what it is. But sure, I listened enough to understand all the humor. I would listen to it over and over, and eventually I became so familiar with it, and to further prove the point that I guess I just wanted to be the one making my parents laugh, the way this voice from the stereo did, that I was standing up in front of it and what we now know to be lip syncing. At 9, I had never heard the word or had it explained to me that that's a thing. Nor did I think I was inventing something. I was just interacting. It was a long time ago, and this was the way one interacted.
Right.
We had recently invented fire.
For entertainment.
I was warm,
This is what
I was able to stand in front of a piece of furniture and act like I was talking.
Right.
In sync with the voice. And so I would clear my throat the same time that man did. And, and one day the son came home early and caught me doing this. I say caught me because I was as embarrassed as if I was found doing something else. Because I wasn't doing it for anyone but myself.
Right.
And she caught me, and the first things out of her mouth were, "You're doing that for the Zuckers at Passover."
Oh, she's a stage mom.
There was no proof of that prior to this moment.
Right.
Yeah. That was the birth of my career and
hers
her as a stage mother.
Right.
Yeah.
And were you excited that she was into it, or were you scared, or?
I was relieved.
Okay.
Because also there was it was never said, don't take our album out of the cover and play it when no one's around. But that certainly was bouncing around in my head that I was doing something secretive.
Gotcha. But you masturbated right in the living room, right, when in front of everybody.
Before
right?
and after, yes. Yes.
That you had no
Yes.
problem with.
No. In fact, I don't think luminol had been invented yet. And there's a damn good thing. It's a damn good thing. My act initially and for years, from probably age 10 to 16, was just lip syncing the album. I didn't have to write material.
And it was just this one album? You didn't do other albums?
No, I just did that routine, but it was at like junior high and high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
wasn't
you
doing
would-
it for the greater public who had to pay to see it.
But you would do it at like talent shows and
Yeah,
stuff?
they would wheel out,
Oh
get
my
that
God.
squat Jew in here and have him do the album
And
thing.
then your parents'
But I mean-
7-foot cabinet came.
I mean, every occasion, not just talent shows,
Oh
father-daughter dinner dance, folk festival, whatever the occasion was at the school.
You were a one-trick
they would
pony.
threw me out,
Yeah.
and it killed every time. It didn't matter how many times these idiots saw it. So my point being,
amazing.
for
Okay.
6 years of performing in front of an audience, I didn't have to write anything.
Right.
In fact, had material from a genius,
Yeah.
right? I just had to open my mouth and clear my
Why
throat
do
at the
people
same
say
time.
this is so hard? It's easy. You just-
Yeah, exactly.
You got
exactly.
such a wonderful experience to like really perfect getting over nerves.
Well, so
right?
so
In a
I
way.
think you're right. I think subconsciously I was learning how to write also, because the timing,
Yes.
which is all I was involved in, was the physical, visual timing of telling these stories.
And when did you stop doing the blackface?
I was, well, I hadn't heard it called that,
Okay.
but I was in fact applying shoe polish.
Right.
I don't know how
You're
you
trying
knew
to make
that.
it authentic.
I don't know how you knew that. You just assumed that?
I just know that
'Cause you hadn't
are
asked
a
me.
full form performer and you give it your all.
Yeah, I'm all in
Your
or all
method.
out. It never even crossed my mind. Geez, and thank God, because this was so long ago,
Yes.
no one would have pitched a fit.
Right.
But thankfully, at least in terms of the evidence available, I did not ever do that. So when I finally wrote my own stuff, it was also I discovered that when I spoke, I could speak as other people.
Oh, do you
So
think
I
that's what?
I masked my own talking and own thoughts for as long as possible.
Right.
Like from 16 to probably 18. I was just doing impersonations and I was just making up stories for those voices. I wasn't telling stories, which my act became
Right.
from life. So from 10 to 18, I really hid behind anything but talking to the audience as myself. But then ultimately, when I did, I had to face that bombing, because when you're doing the album, you're not bombing, and when you're doing impersonations, it's a parlor trick.
Yeah.
If I can think of someone you like and I can recreate them in front of you, I will steal the affection you have for the actual person.
Right.
It took me about 30 years to realize that was true. But it is true and works as if I were doing a magic trick.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So did you start doing stand up at 16?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I say I started when I was 10,
right.
because I was in fact doing an act.
You were you were doing an act.
Yeah, and it replicated a stand-up act. I mean, I was alone. They would have a microphone out there for me as a prop,
Right.
and I would take it off the stand and walk around with
Yes.
it while I lip synced. Again, no one taught me any of this. I started studying comedians on the Tonight Show probably around 13, and I collected them the way my friends collected baseball cards. So I was very dialed into the art form and the profession
Right.
at a very young age. And everyone who signed my yearbook said, I'll see you in the pictures or TV or whatever. My destiny had been yelled and screamed at them loudly enough
Yeah.
by my
They're
mother.
Like, okay, so that's what I was. So getting back to your mother.
Yeah, must
so,
we?
So she was absorbed, but also was very supportive of you.
But
it sounds like.
But I think it was because it was an extension of her own genius.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You were proof.
I represented what she was capable of.
Gotcha.
In some weird way. Yeah.
And she was funny?
Ish.
Okay.
She. Well, I mean, for a child to see your mother craving attention loudly after a few highballs, I'm not sure I was the right audience for that.
Oh my God.
That I could
It's
appreciate.
just embarrassing.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
Poor Oliver.
I know. I was just feeling a lot of sympathy for my kids right now.
Poor kids.
Oh, because of the drinking?
That too.
Oh, okay.
But just like having parents who need a lot.
Well,
Yes.
so then it took me also about 30 years to realize what the son's issue was.
Okay.
And you two can now speak to this thesis. And I'm not the first to discover this. I want to make it clear that I don't think I am. To an infant, then child, then young man, the mother is the protector, the everything. Mm-hmm. But for the mother, that role is all-consuming, and you are responsible for this life form, and its growth, and its maturity, and its evolution. And it's an amazing responsibility. It may be the greatest responsibility a person will ever know. But as soon as that child is old enough to, quote-unquote, not need your services, that has to be debilitating for some. For others, it's a tremendous relief, right. I'm sure. I don't know if you can tell. I'm childless. I've seen children. I know that most of it works out on paper. But this is just my own observation as a child, and who became an adult, who realized, oh, she did not ever get over her importance in my life.
Oh, okay.
And here's, I didn't know if this was the closer, and I don't think we're anywhere near the end, but it really does epitomize what my mother was capable of in her need to be the center of my universe. At my 40th birthday, I had moved to Los Angeles long before, in my mid-20s. Mm-hmm. And for my 40th, I went back home and had my dear friends gather for a party. It was my 40th? It might have been my 30th. A big birthday.
Yeah.
The memory is that it was my 40th. But I'm walking through the chronological nature of this story and realizing, would I have gone home 15 years after moving to L.A. to celebrate my 40th? Maybe.
Yeah.
So, but it was a milestone birthday, either 30th or 40th. And my friends, maybe 50 people. And it was a great celebration in someone's home. And my mom was also there. My brother, his wife, and and a couple of cousins, maybe the Zuckers. And I just remember my mom saying, can we talk for a second? Oh, sure. I mean, I'm talking to these people, but yeah, Mom, let's go in another room. So we go in this other room, and she says, I have something to share with you.
Oh, no.
Yep. I'm 98% certain it was my 40th. I have something to share with you. What's that, Mom? I'm already doing the math that this is going to be her moment to make my birthday about her, because it was kind of an annual tradition.
Oh God.
Which I'm not alone in that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, my better half, Jamie, it's a very similar thing that on her birthday, in some way, shape, or form, her mother will make damn sure
Really?
Jamie understands that this was the day that
She did it.
she suffered
She did it.
so that Jamie could live.
And she is your mother like this with your brother as well?
Was like, no, because he was very, like, 180 degrees from me in terms of not only not a performer, but social anxiety and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So I don't know about her need to impress upon him the importance of her existence.
Okay.
I just know there was no outwardly, physically fawning over him the way she did for her second, her baby.
Who she saw herself in on some level.
Yes,
Right.
yes, because I was
Successful.
a performer, and
Right.
clearly that was something Mom wanted to be
Gotcha.
badly. And so she pulls me in the room and she says, "There's something I need to share with you." Need to share with me, Mom? Yes, I should have told you, but I hadn't, and so I just feel now's the time. And I'm thinking, I'm certain now is not the time. Certain. I don't know what this is. I don't know what topic heading to even pull from. I just know whatever's about to come out of your yap is now is not the time at all.
Life, there's death, taxes, and that this is definitely not the time to tell the story. These are things you're certain of.
I am. And she says, for the first time, as she made clear, when you were born, Kevin, there wasn't a title for what I instantly suffered from. We know it now as postpartum.
Oh my God.
And and it was so instant. She explains. Wait, by the way, it gets so much worse. We are nowhere near the tip of the iceberg.
Like a quick aside that you can just go back to your party.
Right.
Oh, if you think that's true, wait.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I mean, let me just say, as a stand-up who's been crafting setup punchline for 40 years, that's one of the stronger reactions to the setup. So I need to figure out how to get this into the act.
Okay.
And thank you for the encouragement. I clearly it's time for this to be in the act. So she says the postpartum was so instant that before I left the hospital, I had to give you away to your Aunt Bobby because I couldn't bear the sight of you.
Wait, this doesn't sound like depression. This just sounds like hatred.
So you lived your first 6 weeks with your Aunt Bobby.
Oh my God!
So
Happy birthday.
yeah.
That's insane.
So happy birthday.
Oh.
So yeah, I can't believe I never told this on stage before. This really is funny.
No, it's really funny.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just funny to mothers. Is it funny?
It's very, very funny.
Okay,
yes.
good.
I've got
I mean,
tears
I
in my
assumed
eyes.
as a mother you would appreciate the
Right.
heinous nature.
Like
but also as a child,
like,
we're all
those
children.
first
Yes.
6 weeks, you're supposed to be bonding like skin to
Yes.
skin.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
your mother's
So-
like, I can't.
I mean,
Right.
it's
Enough with him.
it's so dark that it's so hilarious.
Right, exactly. It is so very
Oh, my
dark.
God.
But here's the maybe darkest part.
Hmm.
Hey, Mom. I didn't have the wherewithal to say to her then or ever, hey, Mom, not something I remember. So why now?
Right.
Why ever?
Why are you telling me this?
I'm going to applaud your decision to not bring it up prior.
Right.
Nothing to be gained for me. This
Right.
really is about you.
Yes.
You are confessing this sin
Right.
to the last priest who wants to hear it.
Right.
Or needs to hear
yes.
it, or benefits from hearing it. There's nothing in this conversation for me,
Right.
other than to be here for you.
Yeah.
And fuck you.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
I think.
So what? How is that? How you reacted? Did you say why are you telling me
I
this?
laughed.
Oh, okay.
I laughed. I just started laughing
Right, because it's so insane.
because it's so insane.
She had to pull you aside to tell you.
Well, I didn't have any appreciation for the drama she must have gone through at the time or thereafter, or even the few times she thought, I need to tell him this.
Right.
And then when is the right age? Is 9 years old the
think
right age?
never.
Is 7?
Right. Yeah.
Is 22?
I'll wait till he's 40.
Yep.
On his 40th
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah.
I have
yeah.
a gift for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a gift. And so I laughed, and then I instantly, oh, Mom, I'm so sorry you went through that. You know, I had empathy,
Good,
certainly for
good.
her, because clearly they didn't have a name for it. They probably thought she was insane.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I instantly started thinking about what was that like for my father to
Well,
have
that's what I was thinking.
the mother of his second child react so severely that before she left the hospital, I was given away to Aunt Bobby. And then I also thought, hey, Pops, way to come through.
So that was my first thought. And I thought, well, it was a different time.
Yeah, I mean, dads weren't involved, and they weren't in the waiting room. Like
not
they
only
weren't.
not involved, his concern was for his wife,
Right.
who
Yes.
seemed insane,
Right.
Yes.
and was. I don't have this quote from her, but must have been saying something similar to "Get it away from me."
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So
Get
Dad's
that
not going
thing
to bring
away.
it home.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked that your brother never spilled the beans, because that seems like classic older brother.
I
But he
don't.
was only
info.
2, right?
He didn't know.
He didn't remember.
So he
He
Yeah.
didn't know. In
remember
fact,
it.
when I told him, he also laughed.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and not at me, but at
Right.
Was he like, that's so, Mom?
yeah. Well, yeah, he had developed just a skosh of animosity over the years because of their relationship. That it just was fuel to his
Oh, okay.
pyre.
Right. Oh, my
Yeah.
God. And did you ever talk to your dad about it? Or was he already
No,
gone?
well, if I did, I don't remember.
Okay.
but I didn't. Not only didn't talk to Dad about it, I didn't talk to her about it.
Yeah.
Anymore, because again, there was no need for me to instantly go to therapy and find out what this really means, and because I don't believe it's possible that for the first 6 weeks there's any memory that I've buried from my first 6 weeks
Right.
of life.
Yeah.
I'm not buying into that for a nanosecond.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you're, maybe if it were 6 months,
I've
or
always liked
something.
tits. Is this an
Right.
explanation?
I think you weren't. You
I
didn't
was
have them.
deprived.
You were deprived.
I was deprived
But she
for
probably
6 weeks.
She probably wouldn't have breastfed you anyway, because they didn't really do that.
I didn't ask her, and I don't know.
Then you don't need.
Yeah, and
didn't
you're
need to.
right. This was the late 50s.
You probably wouldn't have been anyway.
God.
I mean, you were
Yeah.
you were loved and held, and I'm sure taken care of, and held. And
I instantly assumed that Bobby took care of
Yes.
me way better than my mom ultimately did, because after 6 weeks, I don't think she was cured.
Right.
I think she just, someone said, or
Remember that kid you got over across the street?
yeah. Bobby might have called and said, "Now is now good."
How about now? How about now?
she was like, I got to get this baby back to you.
Yeah. I wish I had followed up with more questions.
Yes.
I am feeling a little void of information, and now that she's gone, that information went with her. But again, because I was 6 weeks old, I don't think there was any true crime for me to investigate.
Right.
Because I did feel bad for her.
Yes.
And I did thank my Aunt Bobby, who was still alive
you did?
when I was 40.
You talked to her about it.
I did. We didn't talk much about it, nor did I riddle her with questions, because I felt bad for her
Yeah.
and grateful. And I instantly, quote unquote, forgave my mother this confession of hers, and also insisted to her, there's no way I'm going to remember my first 6 weeks of life, Mom. So I appreciate your need to share, but you're an idiot.
Did she think she was doing you a favor by telling you? Like, did she think she was answering questions?
Well, as the son, it wasn't about me.
Right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I didn't, like I said, I didn't ask her any questions.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought the whole thing ridiculous, this sharing, and on my birthday, and at a party where I was high as fuck and having a very good time.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay, so are there other stories of her taking center stage?
Not in that. That's why
Dramatic,
I said
yeah.
I thought of that as the closer.
Yeah, it's a good one.
because there's no topping it in terms of outrageousness. But yeah, she was just a natural-born ham who lived vicariously and certainly celebrated my success.
Yeah.
As I say, she only passed a few years ago. So,
Right.
she was addicted to Mrs. Maisel and would call and tell me why it was so good and how good I was. She was a great fan.
Yes.
And a devoted fan.
Yeah.
so she wasn't constantly making it about herself necessarily in terms of how thrilled she was for my success. But she would say things like, I was talking to so-and-so, and I don't know how it came up, but they also watch Maisel, and you don't know how it came
Right.
up.
You brought it up. Right.
They also think you're the greatest actor that ever lived.
Right.
You don't know how that came up, Mom? And who else did you ask if they thought I was the greatest actor that ever lived? Did you say this was the mailman? What are you talking about? Yeah.
This has been such a thrill. Thank
I'll
you
say,
so much.
Thank you. I didn't
Now you got a new bit?
think ever this story was that funny.
No, it's amazing.
a really
I just
funny
thought
story.
it was dark, as you say, which is what made it funny.
It's so funny.
I mean, I've told it to friends, and they did laugh and think that it was sad at the same time,
right.
and a big OMG.
That's our favorite stuff, though. We like the darkness.
Yeah.
It makes us howl.
Yeah,
There might be something wrong with us, too.
Yeah.
Consider that.
You know what? You found it on your own.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got there.
We want to see it on a stage.
Yes. But so thanks for the new bit.
No,
didn't-
we're really glad we had to cancel once because of the fire, and so we're just so excited that you could be here. And thanks again.
Yeah, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for making it so easy.
Yeah, and we will be right back with What Did We Learn Today?
Hey, Danielle.
Christine,
Are you ready to learn what we learned today?
so ready.
Smoking during pregnancy has been discouraged since the 1970s when the Health Education Council launched a public health campaign. I guess my mom didn't see that.
Well, maybe it was after 73.
Yeah, maybe she just ignored it. A standard 12-ounce can of Celsius contains 200 milligrams of caffeine.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
The Trump administration's effort to slash the size of the federal workforce did reach the Food and Drug Administration recently, as recently hired employees who review the safety of food ingredients, medical devices, and other products were fired.
Right.
Well, you know what? We guess we're just going to have to do our own research, I guess.
Jesus. Oh, well, that went so well before.
It's going great. Unfortunately for Chris's planned letter writing campaign, Trump has also fired the boss of laws
Oh,
and
no.
taken the position himself.
Oh, he keeps putting himself in the position.
He's got a lot to do over there.
How is he going to be in charge of all these things?
He's so busy.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to have a lot of caffeine.
We should give him some of those packets.
Doesn't he suppose the rumors that he does Adderall, right? Is that no, the rumors that he does, what is it's like an over the counter thing. Right? Remember there was a thing where he had I think it is caffeine, but it's because he's one of these people who brags that they only get like 3 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I
Is
do
it
think
like
Adderall was up
Maybe
there
it was
too.
Adderall, yeah. We want to know what
Tell
happened
us about
at
medieval times.
Medieval times.
First time I ever went.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Right?
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. It might go on a skosh.
It's a little too long.
A little, like I don't think I need to see a horse prancing, across this arena 7 or 8 times.
Right.
Maybe
But
once
that's
or
pretty
twice.
impressive, right? The dancing part?
It is cool, but they're not moving very quickly.
No.
And
TikTok has ruined you.
yeah, maybe.
Okay, so anyway, you went. Did the princess have period hair or was it ridiculous?
I don't know if
I told him to look out for this.
No,
but I
she
can't-
just had really long auburn.
And she's part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
Or
she's
there's
up
a
on the
princess.
platform.
Yeah.
And you're saying her hair usually looks like it's flat ironed and
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just,
I didn't. I was literally directly across.
Oh,
From
so
her.
you couldn't even see her.
I could just see it was long.
Okay.
It didn't look. The guy who played the king or whatever.
hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
And he was talking in a British accent. I don't know if he was actually British.
Right.
She sounded like she was from fucking, I don't know, Orange
Irvine.
County.
Yeah. Right.
Karen, you should have given him your number.
Oh yeah, you wave a little
Yeah.
hanky, but instead of a
Slip
hanky.
my flag to him.
Yeah.
Yes, you cross stitch your phone number on the hanky, and then you wave it like this, like I
Right.
need help, and then the king comes and gets it, and that's how that's your origin story of how you met.
First, I have to learn how to cross stitch.
Right. Or what that even is.
Or it is, and then I'll do that. But it was really fun. It was.
So there's not an audience member that's crowned or anything,
yes,
right?
there is.
Oh, how did I get that wrong? I'm sorry.
Yeah, there is a.
I don't remember that.
It was a little girl's birthday, so
Oh,
I think
sweet.
you might have to pay extra. 'cause
You
they
have
gave
to,
her,
like,
a
slip some in.
tiara and stuff to.
Cute.
So that was cool. I think she was in our team actually too.
Oh,
Yeah, our team won. We were the yellow team.
Nice.
and
Is
we
it? Do you have to
won
answer trivia?
about horses.
Yes.
in the
You knew
1400s.
everything because of our episode about horses.
Right.
Our
I
bonus
did.
episode.
He just gets up and says, like, well, sometimes people fuck horses, and then all the children are just horrified,
Crying.
just crying.
And then you were asked to leave, right?
Yeah, I was going to keep that part out of it, but no, it's fun. The jousting's cool. Seeing them do all this stuff is fun. The pomp and circumstance of it was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And it was cool. At one point, our waiter or surf or whatever he was down there part of the show, which was cool. Like, when they first came out in the Entrance of Nights, they're like, they're squires. They come out and they're like, wait, everyone's all excited for him. Hey, that's our guy. And we're all yelling and cheering for him.
Oh,
It's really fun. It's a fun night, fun experience.
yeah, it's a fun.
It is
It's
a really
fun thing. Yeah.
yeah. It's popular still. I mean, there were some empty spots, but a lot
Yeah.
of people enjoyed it. It's a fun little family thing to do.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to.
Nice.
I got to take my kids before they get too old and
Oh,
jaded.
they'll like it
Yeah.
probably.
They'll think it's cool.
Yeah,
I think they will.
It's
Yeah.
fun. It's
I
fun.
think I still have time, guys.
Yeah.
You got
got to
time.
do it this weekend. This
Oh.
weekend's the last weekend you'll have.
I'm really running out of time fast.
Yeah, then they changed to like the Renaissance age, which is what it is originally. But
Well,
Well,
guess that's it.
I think we're going to be back next week.
Yeah.
And, thank you to all of our new Patreon members. We're excited to have you in the fold.
Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah,
we really appreciate it.
We are just so excited to have you. And until next time, remain calm.